Hi guys, Matt Boyd here, Tech Ed for ADB Magazine. We're here today, we've got our hands on a fresh KX 450 21 model. We're the first guys in the country to get our hands on one and ride one. This one's a fresh bike, straight off the showroom floor. Just had a tank full of fuel put in it, some oil. We're going to set it up, adjust some levers, bars, set some sag, give it a ride. So new for 21, Kawasaki has modified the clutch. They've gone for a bigger clutch. They've got rid of the coil springs and added a Bellevue washer. So what that does is it's just a lighter feel on the clutch when the clutch is pulled into the bar. And they've also added a coating to the piston, a low friction coating. So also new for 21 is the set of the Renthal fat bars. So typically Kawasaki has run the stock bars with the brace. They've gone for a much better bar this year, much stronger bar. These bars deal with vibration. There's a little bit of flex in them when you're riding, so they give the rider a much better feel rather than the rigid feel of the stock 7/8 bar. And the other really cool thing about the KX is the Showa A-kit. So this is essentially the same internal, same size cartridges inside as what you would get in the Showa A-kit that the factory guys are running. And that comes all in the bike standard with a DLC coated fork tube. So that's a really cool addition to be getting on a production bike. Alright guys, I'm going to get into starting to set the bike up. So I'm just going to start with adjusting the bars and levers to get it all in a nice comfortable position for me. I'll set the sag height on the rear shock. Alright, so I've adjusted the bars, levers, all that feels comfortable. I've set the rear sag height. We're at 102 mil, so it's a brand new shock. This bike's never been ridden. So the springs are going to settle a little bit. We may check it later on, see how much it settles and readjust. The forks, they're set at the stock height. Clickers are all set stock. Clickers on the rear shock are stock. We're running the standard mapping plug. Everything is exactly the way it comes off the showroom floor. All we've done so far is just adjusted the cockpit and set the sag height. We're going to give it a ride. This bike's going to need a few laps on it because it's brand new. It's ran for the whole of 2 minutes in the factory. So we're going to do some run time on it, let the bike settle in, adjust it if we feel it needs it, and go from there. Alright guys, we just got done riding. We spent a couple of hours playing around, testing and riding the 21 model KX 450. It's a really nice bike, I'm a fan. I really like the fork. The forks are very smooth, they have a really nice action to them. I didn't adjust anything in the forks at all. So they have a nice plush initial part of the stroke. It soaks up those little choppy bumps nice, but when you get into the hard braking and some heavier bumps, they still absorb that stuff really well and hold up in the stroke while still steering. The bike's very nimble, very easy to throw around in the jumps, easy to get into the ruts. It didn't take too long at all to break the bike in really. Like from a bike that had 0 hours on it, when we first got out there, it felt a little tight, the brakes needed to bed in, but it really didn't take very long at all. If anything, I was maybe a little more cautious with the bike while it bedded in than anything. The rear shock, there's not much to complain about there. It works really well too. We did make a few slight little adjustments on the rebound just to get I like my shock to feel quite active, to keep the rear wheel on the ground when you're braking on them choppy bumps. So I just sped up the rebound a little bit to accommodate that. Nothing too crazy, just 2 clicks, and seemed to do the job really well. The track today didn't have any really big bumps, so it would be good to get this bike into a racing condition and see how it feels. But it handles everything from sort of slow pace to even when you really try to push the bike, it still handles everything really well. So the power's really usable. It's really nice. It's smooth, it's not overly abrupt. I feel like if you were to change the pipe to some kind of aftermarket pipe, it'd really bark a little louder, but overall the power is really friendly and really usable, which I really liked. The clutch, I'm a fan of the hydraulic clutch. They're much smoother. You know, you don't get that crunchy cable feeling. You know, it works well. It does its job. Yeah, overall the bike's very nimble, very easy to flick around. It doesn't feel like a big 450. It feels like a really easy bike to steer. The brakes are powerful, they work well. Yeah, overall great package, and hopefully we get to do some more riding on it soon.